What's up gamers, Lexu here with the Flurry Overpower Rogue build guide for Diablo 4. Welcome to the new meta for rogues. Compared to my previous Dance of Knives build, the Flurry Overpower Rogue is faster for speed farming Torment 4 activities and clears higher in the pit. In addition to the dash on the skill bar, Improved Flurry provides a built-in dash with no cooldown, allowing the rogue to zip through maps and instantly kill enemies with overpowered flurry damage. No longer do you need to worry about snapshots or maintaining Dance of Knives charges. Although the Flurry Overpower Rogue does need to spam a lot of skills, I'll show you how to automate the rotation for an easier playstyle. The Flurry Overpower Rogue is not just the fastest build for speed farming, it's also a top tier choice for pushing the pit. I've already released a tier 105 clear video along with a couple of speed farming videos that you can check out on my channel. Be warned, the Flurry Overpower Rogue is a highly specialized endgame build with extremely strict build requirements. You must reach breakpoints for Death Trap cooldown and maximum energy, while also focusing on maximum life. Let's go over the items to acquire before you can start playing the build. The first requirement for the Flurry Overpower Rogue is at least 275 maximum energy. Maximum energy starts at a base 100, so you need at least 87 total from the maximum resource affixes on Harlequin Crest and Beastfall Boots, which requires some greater affixes and masterworking bonuses. 25 maximum resources added by an advanced elixir of resourcefulness, and then it's all multiplied by 1.3 for momentum. If you can't obtain 87 maximum energy from the two equipped items, Galvanized Slasher's aspect can be used to meet the requirement. This isn't the most optimal setup because the resource aspect replaces an offensive aspect like Conceited. Although the build will still have more than enough damage for Torment 4 activities, so Galvanized Slasher's aspect is useful to get started. The 275 maximum energy is needed to guarantee overpower for every casted flurry, using an interaction between two key items. Beastfall Boots is activated by casting Death Trap, causing the next casted flurry to consume all your energy. This effect adds a significant damage multiplier to flurry, but it's essential that at least 275 energy is consumed each time to activate Banished Lord's Talisman for overpowers. These unique items create this synergetic interaction for every rotation of Death Trap and Flurry. For this to work, 275 energy needs to be generated each time. The most ideal setup for energy gains is a rank 7 Aftermath, achieved by 3 allocated points in the skill tree, plus 3 ranks from a temper on Legendary Pants, and plus 1 to all passives on Shroud of False Death. Rank 7 Aftermath restores 175 energy after casting Death Trap, which is increased to at least 275 energy by resource generation from Shroud of False Death and Strength. My strength value is increased by all stat affixes from Shroud of False Death and Doombringer. I can't explain the Blizzard math here because more energy is being generated than I expected, but trust that these stats are enough for the build. You can confirm the energy requirements are met by alternating casts of Death Trap and Flurry while checking that the Banished Lord's Talisman buff always shows a 275 value. All the energy is depleted after casting Flurry and then refilled completely when Death Trap is cast. This test won't work until you meet the second requirement for the Flurry Overpower Rogue, which involves the Death Trap cooldown. The cooldown of Death Trap needs to be reduced low enough to seamlessly cast between flurries. Preparation reduces ultimate skill cooldown by 5 seconds for every 75 energy spent. The energy requirements for the build are enough to activate Preparation 3 times. Unfortunately, the interaction seems to be bugged and it only allows for 2 activations at a time. With Preparation, the cooldown in the tooltip for Death Trap needs to be lowered to at least 10 seconds, plus the time it takes to cast Death Trap and Flurry. This depends on your attack speed, but my estimation is around 10.27 seconds total. To meet this requirement, utilize cooldown reduction and ultimate cooldown reduction affixes, along with trap cooldown reduction tempers and nodes in the Deadly Ambush Paragon board. Do a test to ensure that Death Trap and Flurry can be alternated without any delay. The full gameplay rotation also includes Cold Imbuement and Dark Shroud. These two skills don't have a casting animation, so they won't slow down your damage output if utilized correctly. The easiest way to execute the rotation is with the button holding technique. On a keyboard, you can simply hold down the buttons for all 3 cooldown skills, which are Death Trap, Cold Imbuement, and Dark Shroud. While holding these buttons, tap Flurry to deal damage and the rest of the rotation will activate automatically. Just make sure you release any movement buttons to allow the other skills to trigger. I don't use a controller, but I've seen reports saying holding Death Trap doesn't always work. Controller players might only be able to hold Cold Imbuement and Dark Shroud while alternating taps of Death Trap and Flurry. Please let me know how it functions for you in the comments. Tybalt's Will can provide additional maximum resource, but it's not recommended for this build. The reason I don't recommend Tybalt's Will is the energy gained from its unique effect doesn't always work when multiple cooldowns are activated at once. Legendary pants with ranks to Aftermath offer a more consistent overpower. In the rotation test with Tybalt's Will, you can see the Banished Lord's Talisman buff occasionally dropping under 275, causing the next Flurry cast to not overpower. One last important stat for the Flurry Overpower Rogue is maximum life. This is potentially bugged and I won't cover the mechanics behind this right now, but maximum life massively increases this build's damage by providing additive overpower damage. Focus on greater affix and masterworking bonuses on maximum life after you've met the energy and cooldown reduction requirements. Aim for more than 40k base life in town, with Zal Rune putting you over 50k life. Fortifying your entire life pool also doubles the amount of overpower damage, which is provided by Shield Charge from Rahir. You can still play the Flurry Overpower Rogue without the Vessel of Hatred expansion, but you'll lose about half your damage without the runes and Mercenary. Now that we've covered the build requirements, you can understand how strict the gearing process is. The Overpower Flurry Rogue is a top tier build designed for the late endgame of Diablo 4. If you're looking to get started with a rogue, I recommend my Dance of Knives build. You can find those leveling and endgame videos on my YouTube channel. Play the Dance of Knives rogue while you start collecting the gear for Flurry Overpower, and make sure you have plenty of materials and gold for masterworking resets to reach the requirements. That's all I have for this video. All of the mechanics I covered in this video are in my winning guide on Icy Veins, along with all the details you need to build the Flurry Overpower Rogue. If you learned something new in this video, you owe it to me to click on that subscribe button. Until next time, peace out and happy slaying.